Not many people have written a memoir by age 25, but this gentleman's memoir, Fear is a Choice, more chapters yet to be written, but the chapters already in it tell an incredible story that I'm thrilled that he is bringing to the Rich Eisen Show right now. He is Pittsburgh Steelers running back, James Conner. How are you, sir?
Doing great, Rich. Thank you for having me, man.
I am pleased to have you on here right now. Let's start first before we get to the book. The viral video, I saw this. I got misty. I got all choked up. You know, Father's Day is coming up in about 3 days' time. You posted a video. I'll give you the floor right here. We're watching it right now. It's you and your dad. Tell everyone what this video is right now that they're seeing, James.
Yeah, video me picking my dad, DMC pickup truck. That's what he's been wanting for a while now. Just happy I'm in a position that I happy and blessed that I'm in a position where I can do that for him. And yeah, surprising when I got the idea from actually one of my old teammates at Pitt, Aaron Donald. He had bought his dad a truck, and his reaction was priceless. And so I was like, let me do the same. And so, yeah, we recorded my dad getting a truck, and his reaction was priceless. And so now I'm just happy I can hold on to that. He was just so shocked to try to give me the keys back, and so it was just awesome I could do that.
Well, the thing that got me emotional is not only, just seeing your father enjoying, obviously something that he wants and he could ride around and it's that's incredible in its own right. But I know your story, James, and that's what this book's all about. And I just, I get emotional thinking about what your father must have been going through when you were going through your diagnosis with Hodgkin's lymphoma, wondering about your health and your future and your ability to stay alive, let alone have a career where this could be bought for him. That's what got me, James.
Yeah, it goes a lot deeper than just a gift, so there's the backstory to it and what things could have been and how things turned out is beautiful. So, yeah, it's definitely much more than me just getting him a truck. It's, a lot of things we overcame, and now the emotions from us being in that moment, you could tell how we were interacting and stuff. So it was special.
What's your dad's name, James?
Glenn.
Okay.
Glenn Conner.
So what was your family's role in helping you through when you called him up? You're in the middle of a college career at Pittsburgh, and you call him up at age 20 and say, I have some news.
Yes, that was the hardest part about the whole process, and even during the process of writing my book, revisiting those days, was tough. That was the hardest thing about it. I'm the youngest of five. I got 4 older brothers, and just calling them my whole life. They've always been the ones who would do anything for me, had my back through anything that I ever went through. But with this, it's kind of really not much they can do. So that was the hardest part about it all, was breaking the news to all my family, my teammates. But their role, they would just let me know, keep going strong, keep my faith strong. It was just constant encouragement from my close circle, and also people around the world. I've received so many messages from people who've reached out and just sent their well wishes and prayers. I truly wouldn't have gotten through it without the support of everyone.
James Conner here on the Rich Eisen Show. Describe why you call your memoir what you've called it, Fear is a Choice, James.
I just believe that it's human nature to have fear, but we also have choices and decisions that we can make, and we have to make every day. And so, fear is in kind of the same form as, you could say, adversity. And it's really hard to escape adversity. I mean, whether it's mine just happened to be cancer, but if there's a death in the family or a hardship laid off in your job, there's reason to have fear, but there's also a reason to believe that you can be better because of this adversity and come out on the side better. So I know people get scared of things all the time, but you have the option to choose to either fear it or go after it.
When did you realize that? I imagine, unless that was the first thing that went through your mind, which, by the way, would be remarkable for a 20-year-old, but when did you realize that it was a choice?
I think in the middle of it. I mean, it was definitely the hardest things I've had to deal with. Before that, I had my knee injury. I tore my MCL, a couple months prior to that versus Youngstown State, the beginning of my junior season. And so, my faith got strong because had I not torn my knee, I would have been on the field and it could have went, very, very wrong. So with having a knee injury, I think in the game of football, it teaches you life lessons. And so, I was just in that moment, and I got my first treatment got my second treatment. I had 10 more to go, and I said I can do 10 more of these. And there's that constant encouragement and positivity that I kept to push through.
Well, and it's kind of a rare thing too, James, that you can also potentially, although you probably didn't know it at the time, whatever motivation you might have needed to continue on and follow your pro career dreams, that the team that eventually drafted you was right there in front of your face, right?
Man, yeah, it's I think that's the beautiful thing about the University of Pittsburgh. We share that facility, and this story, man, I really just can't make it up. The city I played my college ball in, then get healthy and then play for that pro team. It's kind of just so surreal, and that's how I know my life is in God's hands, because I can't make none of this up, and the way it's playing out so far, I hope it doesn't stop. Blessings continue to come, and so with me, having my ultimate goals that I want to hang on to and what I want to achieve in life, and I can see them practicing and see how they go about their business. That was definitely motivation for me to just look at this cancer as a bump in the road, and I'm still chasing my dream, and I want to get to where these guys are at that I'm seeing every day.
When's the first time you met Mike Tomlin? When's the first time you crossed paths with him, James? You remember?
So ever since, like even freshmen, we'll be on the field, and as we're coming off the field, the Steelers will be coming on. And I think the first interaction was after my sophomore year, and him just telling me, good game last night. So that was kind of like the first interaction that we had. But he says that he was like, I've been watching you since you've been at Pitt, and so he's had an eye on me for a little while. So it's a good thing that he was there.
Yeah, it's a good thing. I guess so, to have a front row seat for what you were going through, and then you get drafted, but you get drafted by a team that's got somebody that's sitting there in front of you on the depth chart who had already made quite a name for himself, and certainly in that city, in Le'Veon Bell. When he held out, James, what did you think of first when you heard people say, well, that's the end of that for the Pittsburgh Steelers because Lev's not there?
When he first was holding out, it was actually my rookie year, and he came. He didn't come to training camp, and then he came when the season started, and I thought the same thing was going to happen for year two. But I was just telling myself, I said, I have no control over this. I'm just going to continue to try to get my body in the best shape and be ready and prepared like I am the starter, just in case if there's some reason he didn't show up, then I would have that starting job. But I was prepared either way if he was going to come in. Like you said, he already had a name for himself. He had earned that. He done great things for that team. So if he would have came my second year, I just played my role. But he ended up not showing up, and I put together a good little season. So I was just preparing like I was going to be the starter either way.
How many people told you that year that when you ran into them that you won them your fantasy league?
Oh yeah, that's the only thing I heard from everybody. I couldn't go anywhere without somebody saying, I did that when I won them. I saved them on fantasy and all that. So they were just showing a lot of love.
I'm sure you heard all that. James Conner of the Steelers here on the Rich Eisen Show. Let's talk about the here and now. What are you hearing about a playing season for 2020 right now, James? You expecting it? You wondering about it? How would you term it right now?
Kind of everything. We're still waiting to hear on decisions that the league is making about if there's going to be fans or if the season is going to start on time. What we're going to do with preseason games. So it's really we're kind of just playing it by ear. I haven't heard much. I hope that we can start on time. I'm itching to get back and get back to just playing football and being around my teammates and just getting back into the swing of things. But we have to take all precautions necessary, and I'm staying ready, but I hope we get back soon. But I haven't heard much about it.
Well, are you technically somebody who is more vulnerable to this virus because of your history with Hodgkin's lymphoma? Are you somebody that would be in a high-risk group, or have already been told that?
No. I was talking to my doctor, and we were talking. And, I'm going on 4 years now from being cancer-free. So my immune system is back up, strong and healthy. The chemotherapy ran its course, and that's all out. It's all done. So I'm still going to play it safe and do everything I need to do. But as far as me being more vulnerable, no, because I'm 100% healed.
Well, that's wonderful news there. But in terms of, again, just you're expecting to hear when at any point in time about a report date. What are you expecting on that, James?
Well, we usually report to camp around late July. July 25th through 30th, anywhere in between those dates, and so I'm hoping we can get back to that. But those are nothing is set in stone.
And then more in real life, as if a pandemic's not enough, we're seeing what's going on in our world, in our society, certainly with police brutality and social justice and racial justice for all. And I'm hearing so much about so many moving conversations amongst teammates, and certainly with team meetings, having a lot of conversations on this subject. Have the Steelers had that, James?
Yeah, we've been on our team meetings and discussing things and trying to put a plan in place and definitely acknowledging it and trying to figure out how we can move forward and make change. And so it's definitely been a topic of discussion for us in Steelers. I've been talking with teammates and we're trying to put a plan in place to continue to spread awareness and make a difference in this country because we need it.
Okay, so in terms of an action plan that's been discussed, what about a plan in terms of a visual protest, a peaceful protest? We know, obviously, that has been a subject back in 2017 with this team and the conversations that were had and what the locker room felt about it. I mean, this team in particular. I'm wondering if there's any conversation that's been had on that front you can share with us, James.
So conversations are still in discussion, so we're definitely going to continue to, we're all with the movement. And we're ready to make change and bring awareness. So we don't have a set plan, but we're definitely talking about it and seeing what's the best way to go about this, and so we can make a difference.
Well, James, I appreciate the time. Congrats on the book. There's more chapters to be written, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yes, sir.
I mean, you got. This is just. I mean, there's different versions. You can write an addendum. You can do all. There's a paperback version that you could. Have talk about your rushing championship year, all that sort of stuff, right?
All that, yeah. I'm on board with you. So we got more to talk about. There's more things on the way. So I like to think that we're just getting started.
Well, enjoy your Father's Day weekend. Although upon hearing the fact that there were 5 boys in the house, I have to say Mother's Day is also crucially important.
Oh, yeah. This is important.
In the Connor household, let's not forget Mom. But again, that video of is your dad riding around? Is he like, what was the first ride? What's going on? Tell me the postscript on this truck.
Oh, no, he just kept expressing to me, how much it meant to him and how much he loves it, So, he's riding around it, and he said, he's getting all these compliments, and he's feeling like a celebrity in the area back in our hometown. Great. So, I'm proud of him, happy for him. Yeah,
and are they still in Erie? Is that where they are?
Yeah, my father lives in Erie.
Okay, James, thanks for the call. Congrats again on the book. Fear is a Choice. Everybody should go get it right now. Available where all books are sold. And let's chat when hopefully everything opens up and you got a playing season, and let's reconnect then, James. Okay.
Let's do that. Thank you.
Always a pleasure. That's James Connor.